morning, this is Vidushani from CCSJ in the York Road Initiative, and her dog Frida, who's going to be running around and wanting to play fetch and do all kinds of fun things. But I'm here for you for a little bit of time to kind of share about my own experience as I was navigating uncertain times when I graduated college, similar to what y'all are going to be experiencing as y'all figure out your next steps upon graduation, thinking about what careers you choose, what vocations you decide to go into, and also how you merge your career interests, your passions, your skills with also what the world needs and also what brings you joy and hope. I think those are all important things to consider, and I wish I had that kind of. I wish I was at that level of that kind of level of discernment at your age. So I think y'all are on the right track of thinking through things, and I just wanted to offer some words of advice and share my own story. So I'm looking because she wants the ball. So when I graduated in 2013, I graduated with an English degree on the tail end of the financial crisis. So it was still complicated times because folks were still uncertain of what industries were going to be thriving and what weren't, what wouldn't be, I guess. When I graduated, I had a degree in English, but I really wanted to focus on political organizing and thinking about how communities could be empowered and think about doing justice work long term. And I'd come to know that justice work was a thing really late in my college career, and I didn't realize that was a profession that folks could go into rather than something that they did on a weekend as a volunteer or something. So I was lucky enough to be connected to some folks who were doing that work professionally, and that helped me network and get to know what kind of opportunities were available. So I think that was a really helpful step for me. But then at the same time, I graduated with no job in May, and I had really no prospects because I was looking, but I wasn't looking hard enough, I guess. But I did a little traveling in that summer, and then I came back home thinking that a job would magically appear for me, and obviously it didn't. But as I was looking for opportunities, I came across a fellowship to do health advocacy work. Something I was not really focused on health work in general, and didn't really know what that would look like, and definitely didn't understand the nuances of the public health system at all. So I applied for this opportunity, and luckily I got it. And I didn't think I was going to like it or if it was going to be something that I wanted to do, because I had a really specific thing I was looking for, and this wasn't it. But it paid, and it was something for me to do, and it was an experience to be had. So I decided to pursue it, and it turns out to be one of the most kind of a turning point for my own professional development, because those, I think, 8 months I was in that fellowship program for, it was incredibly helpful to really learn how to gain a professional skill set, to be networked into a community of folks who are doing justice work in low-income communities across the country through a racial equity lens, and to gain that language, to gain that skill set, something that I was eager for, but never had professional experience in doing. And that was it was transformative, right? And that was really helpful, and that really laid the path for my next, my actual full-time job that I ended up getting right after that, which was doing nationwide organizing around racial and immigrant justice work, which is what I wanted to do. But in that moment, 8 months before, I did not have the skill set to be able to do that. So I think having faith that the next thing will come up, as long as you're working and doing the right thing and working toward it, is I think was what's most important to me. And really listening and finding mentorship and thinking through who are the folks that you're surrounding yourself with, and how are they supporting you to navigate uncertain times. I think that's the most important thing, right? Everything is, as things are just moving so quickly, I think the hardest part is to figure out what to do next. And most of us don't know what's next, even if it's not in a crisis or a pandemic or whatever it is. It's hard to say what's next. I couldn't have predicted where I'm at right now years ago. I didn't have a plan that said this is going to get me to here, to here, to here, and I'm okay with that. But what I do know is, someone told me kind of recently, is when you don't know what to do, just do the next thing that's possible, but do the right thing that's possible. So there's always going to be a choice. Every day you're making choices, and try to make the right choice for you, for your family, for your community. And think about those things as you are making choices and decisions. The decisions that you make right now after you graduate is not going to be the make or break of your career. Like, don't put all that weight on there. It's going to be a learning opportunity regardless. An opportunity to gain a new skill set, to figure out what you don't like, and that's all right. It takes time, and it's taken me time. I did a lot of national level organizing, and I realized that national level organizing was not bringing me joy, even though my skill set was there and the folks needed it. It was not bringing me joy because I was feeling burnt out all the time and working a whole lot. And I found that in that same amount of time, I could be working in my own community in Baltimore to think about how my skills as a political organizer, as an advocate, as a policy analyst could be leveraged to advance the needs and goals of my neighbors. And that's really bringing me a lot of joy, because I see the impact on a day-to-day basis. I see it happening. I see the changes that are happening for my neighbors. I think it's really profound when you can move it all together, and I hope that's the same for you. But that took years to get me to a point where I am at now, where I really think all those pieces are aligned, and it's not going to happen right away, and that's all right. So go with it, see what happens, and just try to do the next right thing every time. So thanks for listening to my TED Talk. Frida is just a little bored of it. She's right there. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all soon.